perspective is so important here? Is Nvidia light speed ahead of others? Is there insatiable demand?
Nvidia is ahead of others. I mean, we have to be honest with it. Nvidia has done a very good job. You rightly pointed out this vertical integration, Caroline. It is very important. It is really one of their secret weapons. I think their software stack is great. Their developer ecosystem is very strong. The performance of the GPUs themselves is great, but their secret weapon is NVLink, and I think that that really, at the moment, is unprecedented. So I think we should anticipate an excellent performance from NVIDIA this quarter.
Many would say that excellent performance is baked in, but how much does Jensen need to speak of what the Blackwell architecture, Blackwell Ultra, is currently doing, but almost give us the next vision? He's always on to the next thing, onto the Rubin architecture, for example.
So I think that, I actually am a little bit more bullish on the data center line that you were showing there. I think that the markets might get a positive surprise on data center revenue. There's two aspects of the NVIDIA data center revenue. You have the GPU and CPUs, and then you have the networking. I think that the markets got the temperature on the CPU and GPU right. I think that on networking, there's a little bit more upside that they might not have baked in. I think that what we really need to see, and what I think would be the best thing, is to get a little bit of an outlook from Jensen during earnings. Now, he rarely does this. He typically would only give one quarter outlook. What I would like to see is an outlook to 2026. And I think markets would like to hear some reassurances from him that he is getting positive orders from the hyperscale cloud service providers. And also, there is a lot of opportunity there from the broad market. Some of the incentives that the EU is planning, that Korea is planning, have not kicked in yet. And once those kick in, we're going to see some really nice adoption from the broad market.
So sovereign AI, what about China?
I think that everyone is waiting to hear about feedback about China. I kind of disagree with Mandeep. I think we will hear it in the earnings today. I think that that will be one of the main things. I think Jensen has worked very hard to walk a very fine line between pleasing the US administration and fulfilling demand that he has in China. So I do think a large part of the update that we'll hear today will be about China orders. And, in our numbers, we are baking in that NVIDIA will resume shipments to China.
Vlad, what's so interesting is you're the person focused on the disruption in the here and now, the forward-looking trends, the edge computing, the use of silicon. What aren't we talking about then now? Are we still too focused on training? Do we need to think harder about the use of NVIDIA and inference and whether it still has the edge that it has for the heavier compute?
I think that probably the one thing that we need to be thinking about is NVIDIA's NVLink has been very instrumental to this ability to have high performance clustering computing. And they call this scale up networking. And until now, they haven't really been challenged in scale-up networking, and those challenges are coming up next year. Broadcom is going to be one of them. An open source consortium is going to be another. But this adoption is likely to bring parity in networking in 2027. So what we'll need to see from NVIDIA is to continue to reinvent themselves. I think that Jensen understands that. I think that he wants to be more than just a silicon company. I think he wants to be a model company. But that reinvention is going to be very necessary because they will really continue to face more and more competition. In terms of the AI opportunity, I think that we're underestimating how many countries have not yet started seeing AI at scale. The Eurostat has started releasing AI adoption across the EU, and we can see very lump-sided adoption in Denmark, huge adoption in AI within the business sector, in Bulgaria, in Romania, still lagging significantly behind. So that's a lot of opportunity. These enterprises will eventually deploy AI, but the fact that they haven't means there's still a lot of headroom for growth.
Oh, Vlad, I've got to therefore ask you about the MIT report and what everyone was worried about, that 95% of pilots not bringing you ROAI. What did you make of it?
Okay, so this has been a big debate in my team. I have a wonderful team. We have a lot of debates. So some of my practice leaders believe in this. some of the other ones have different opinions. I personally think that we are judging AI based on a very first generation of technology. The truth is that it is improving dramatically, and that's one of the things that's driving the demand for computing. We are seeing better model output. And that means that more and more people will adopt. So I think that what will happen is ultimately, I don't think that enterprise pilots will fail. I think that what we'll see is that enterprises will have to continue to pilot again and again and again because their competition will adopt it. If you decide, oh, my pilot failed, I'm not going to try again, then at that point, you're leaving yourself susceptible to your competitors actually succeeding with their pilot. So, yes, maybe some pilots will fail. I tested several different AI tools in my team and we have swapped them as we have seen better results with others. But the fact that it's failing is not a negative. It doesn't mean that adoption won't happen. So definitely don't judge the first generation of models with the second. Think about what your iPhone does now compared to what it did in 2007. The opportunity is huge.